everyone. We're here with Scott Finn from Sadistic Creator. They are a badass death metal band from Louisville. Um, Scott, I appreciate you getting up early to hang out and chat with me today.
No, it's no problem at all. We're happy to do it.
Hell yeah. So uh, I caught I caught you guys with Bat Wizard and Stonecutters, and that fucking show was wild,
Yeah, that
dude.
was an awesome lineup. Yeah, I enjoyed that myself. I was first time seeing Stonecutters, and they blew my mind. Batwers too. It was awesome.
Yeah, that whole bill was just super stacked, and to see the freaking I know it's supposed to only be like 85 people back there, but there was 100,
Oh yeah, it was awesome. That was super cool.
hell
It's
yeah.
cool to have all that energy in such a small venue like that too. It's a mag bar. Like when it's full like that, it just feels like a busy room, which is
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been going to that place for 20 fucking years, and I don't think I've ever seen it that crowded.
Stonecutters and the Bat Wizard, they both have a good pulse. As a good show to be on.
Yeah, well, and everyone talked so highly about you guys after the fact.
That's awesome to hear. Yeah, that's amazing.
So how long you guys been together since what, like 2018 or something?
Pretty a while before that, actually. We've been active in the scene. I mean, it's hard to put a date on it. Like we started jamming, at least the core members. We've had a couple of different drummers and bass players, and had members switch places. Our guitar player, that we're really joined. Original guitar player in the band now plays bass. CJ Wallace, but he also does all the studio engineering and stuff like that, and has like that's all the background and stuff like that. He's the one behind all the, you know, computer stuff and tech. Anyways, him and RJ, the other guitar player, we all kind of started jamming in middle school, and have had played shows at Spinelli's downtown on Fifth Street. I believe when it was open, when it was in a basement.
Mm-hmm.
Was for show. I'd have to, like I said, put a date on it. Before 2015 at least.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, for a little while in the scene. This year's just been one of those things where we've been like trying to hit it hard, and I mean, we're a little younger, and we're trying to be a little more aggressive and like actually like put ourselves out there a little more. It's kind of one of those things where back in the day it was like something we were doing, and it's like we're still trying to do this, and we happen to get lucky with that show.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about, I don't know that I would call it luck, but
Yeah.
you know, getting out there and doing it and talking to everyone and making those connections. I mean, that's
Trying
that's what,
to.
yeah. I mean, that's what matters. That's what makes a difference. So
Sure.
for you, who were some like your early musical influences?
For like finding and listening into death metal, I mean, like very early on and stuff, to get into metal at least, the first band I actually remember listening to was Korn.
Okay.
Surprisingly, yeah, when I mean, that was when I was like real little. Like, I was probably too little to be like listening to shit like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, but my parents were pretty, I mean, loose about it. They listened to stuff like Grateful Dead and like old hippie rock and stuff like that. So like, when I've kind of found my own stuff, like they're just kind of like, I guess as long as he doesn't bring in something to school or like, whatever. But then, it started to kind of like evolve into stuff like get into like Slipknot and heavier things, Lamb of God, trying out like Cannibal Corpse, and then finding bands like Bloodbath. Whereas like I was really young, like their first album, Ways to the Grave, I like listened to it and was like, whoa, this is like scary. Like, whoa, these guys like, whoa. Started like, looking into like darker and deeper metal after that.
That's cool. So who are some
Yeah.
of like your favorites that you're listening to right now?
Off the top of my head, 200 Stab Wounds right now is one of the ones, at least that's newer, that I've been checking out, that I've just been blown away by. Gate Creeper. I listen to a lot of different stuff as well. I mean, like, listen to things like Pink Floyd and everything from like things that my parents like listened to kind of that stuck with me, like Nora Jones and like Talking Heads, you know, things that aren't necessarily in the realms of death metal, but Dying Fetus, I'd say definitely like one of them. As far as Behemoth, have always been like one of the big ones.
Well, and I think the important thing about music is it doesn't necessarily have to be, metal, right? It's whatever the fuck
oh
you
yeah,
enjoy.
that's what I love about music and just in general is I've been trying to like branch out and just listen to like I mean almost anything. Sometimes you got a little bit out of your comfort zone, but it's like if you sit there and listen and you don't like it, I guess the worst thing that happens is you wasted your time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Some people call it wasting time. I call it an education. You're like, nope, I for sure don't like that shit.
However you look at it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what you don't want.
Yeah. I mean, you got to learn somehow. And if you don't
Yeah.
don't spend some time doing it, you'll never learn. I mean, I'm the same way though. I listen to a lot of different stuff. I love Pink Floyd. I love Blind Melon.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
not so much into like Grateful Dead, although my wife loves that shit.
Yeah. There are a couple of specific songs for them for me, just but as far as like listening, it's one of those things with jam band music, at least for me, it kind of just goes on and on and on for
Yeah.
so I get yeah.
Yeah. Like, okay, I could do this with Doom too, and it's heavier.
Okay.
So, what made you want to start like singing?
Just like hearing like metal vocals, like things like Lamb of God. I mean, I used to play guitar. I still been trying to keep up with that a little bit. And I'm not nearly as good as the guys in the band, so it was one of those things where it was like kind of took the back seat on it after a little bit. Where I've like thrown riffs around and stuff like that, but it's been a while. And just liked to do it when I was like trying to play guitar, and like sometimes I'd try and play and sing, and eventually like I was like learning the technique and like getting out there and like just making noise, like being disruptive, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
screaming, making it loud as shit.
Yeah, putting on a show, something about it, just like the energy. I've always liked doing it. I used to, like in my room with like play and sing and like put on a show to like nothing, basically, just like trying to, just to feel it and do it. It's fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fucking awesome.
yeah, fun.
Was there like a vocalist that you always tried to emulate?
Uh, Not particularly off the top of my head. I always just like wanted to have that low kind of guttural bellow, the lower like deep gutturals and like those higher screams. I mean, I guess, early on George Fisher, Cannibal Corpse like type style where it's like, just real heavy, forward and aggressive. Uh I like to think that like take influence from all kinds of like different vocalists. I don't really do like the mids as much as like Randy Blythe from like Lamb of God or something like that. He kind of has that different like style. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard to put like a finger. Macaw Ackerfeld, I think's how you say bloodbath. Like a thing, he always had that like deep, rich kind of guttural sound to him in the early albums and stuff. And Opeth, I think, is his other band, which I don't listen to as much, or I'm just not familiar with their work as much personally. But yeah, I mean, also not trying to like do anything too special, just trying to emulate what I've heard.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes staying the course is the best
Trying
course,
to, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's nice to branch out and get something a little bit different. But shit, if you know what you like and you go after it, like shit, attack it with all the gusto.
Yeah. Yeah, I've
So
always liked aggressive, like I said, guttural, low.
yeah, who what have been some of your like favorite live shows that you've been to?
It's a good one. Hmm. Yeah, that's I just got to think. Trying to like off the top of my head, the last like the 200 stab wound show with Dying Fetus that I saw recently. Like they blew it out of the water.
Oh, that was at Portal.
Yeah, that was an awesome show. That was, like I said, very recent, so it's fresh in my memory. Like 200 stab, I love Dying Fetus. 200 stab wounds was, like I said, they killed that show. I mean, they were so good, just like a freight train. I
That
mean,
dude,
they played end to end, just nonstop, like no nothing. It was great.
I think I've seen them like 3 times and they crush it every fucking
Yeah,
time.
that's the type of energy that I really am looking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man, yeah, Lamb of God, always amazing. I've seen them a good handful of times. Of course, they put on an amazing show. I've seen them at a few different venues, everywhere from Expo 5 a long time ago to, headlining or like higher up at Louder Than Life and festivals and stuff like that. So,
Yeah. That Expo 5 show, that was right after Randy got out of prison and was with Hatebreed.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
so. Yep. Yep. That was
That,
a while now.
yeah, that was a good fucking show.
Uh, Stonecutters.
Mm.
I'll say, man, they really did blow my mind when I saw them. I mean, they're so awesome.
Yeah, they're so good. I actually just ran into Brian last night.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Went to Throne and Assimilator were
I
playing
saw
at.
they're playing it. Is that a newer venue that opened recently over there, or is that?
Someone said it's been around for a few years, but that's the first place. That's the first show I've ever been to there.
Yeah, I haven't checked it out yet.
Yeah, it was
I saw it at Metal Monday. I wanted to make it, but work.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
no, me too. Life, right?
yeah, life. Yeah, unfortunately.
That, but it was last night was a really good show. It was a great seeing Brian and then Chris Smith and
Throne's all amazing too, man. They're ripping it up.
yeah, yeah, dude, they're new shit. Like
They're
I think comes out September or October or something. Fuck,
yeah.
it sounds so good.
Yeah, I saw them Metal Monday, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like those guys are awesome.
Yeah. Super
Sure.
nice dudes too.
Yeah, yeah. We talked to them briefly. Yeah, they were all awesome.
Yeah. I think they're gonna try and come back later in the year.
But yeah, I'll have to potentially try and make it. Ooh, another one that I saw that was amazing that I thought of Behemoth.
Hmm.
Behemoth, they put on a hell of a show. I saw them at the Egyptian
Mercury.
Room in Indianapolis.
Okay.
Yeah, with Cannibal Corpse, actually. That
Right
was a
on.
hell of a lineup. And yeah, Behemoth, like I feel it's like one of those bands where like they're heavy, and you feel like there'd be like a lot of like moshing or something like that. But I feel like the crowd was so captivated that like it was the stillest, like death
Yeah.
metal, heavy, black metal show that I've ever seen because everybody was just like, like the whole time, like whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Nurgle's a performer, dude. Like,
the lighting and like just everything about it. I mean, especially the sound when at least where we saw them. I mean, like like off the record, clean. I mean, it sounded amazing. They're on point with just like everything they were doing. It was great.
yeah. Yeah, I saw him at Mercury Ballroom and that was a good fucking show.
I've never been to Mercury Ballroom for a show. Actually, I've heard that's an amazing venue.
It's a great venue. I like it. It's like headliners, but with a balcony that goes all the way
Yeah,
around,
yeah.
so you can pretty easily get a good spot to watch the show in there.
Hmm.
Sounds usually pretty good. Although I don't know, I don't know what's going to go on with like all the Live Nation venues because
Yeah,
the DOJ is suing them to break that shit up.
good.
Yeah.
That is the thing they've got coming to them, Live Nation and all that. Whew, what a mess.
Well, it's such a monopoly. I mean, you go to
Uh,
buy a $50 ticket and it costs you $85 because of all the fees and shit. And you're like,
and there's half the problem. I forget there's a show like recently. My buddy's trying to go see it, and I think it's the Lamb of God show with Mastodon, where they're playing both of the albums like all the way through.
Ashes of the Leviathan.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like $150 ticket, and then by the time it's like $300. It's like, dude, like I don't like where does like like where does it end? And
Yeah.
it's like crappy seats and like whatever. And it's like I don't like it. Just how do you justify spending the money? And like you said, like it's just it needs to be broken up. And like I said, they deserve everything they have coming to them.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
they need to, get rid of a lot of those fees, dude, because it's like how can we just make another dollar? Like, and then you go to the venue and it's like I want to, so my got a buddy drinks PBR, he gets a tall boy PBR and they're
Yeah.
like $13. Like,
Louder than life. They're $22 for
yeah.
like for a tall kid. Like what? Like, there's no way you can tell me, that's that expensive for you guys to like have that there, And then the food too, where they charge the vendors so much to be in their spot that they have to make the food absolutely ridiculously priced too. People complain about the prices of the food, but if the vendors didn't make it that expensive, they wouldn't make any money because the spots they get charged, are absolutely exuberant. It's all just it's all a big mess. Like I said, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's the downside of going to the big shows, but
yeah,
the upside is you like louder than life. You see bands you might not ever see,
yeah, yeah.
you know.
But I need to get a control on like Live Nation and like how that's all being, I mean, and then all the things with those bot sites and things like buying up tickets and like reselling them for like it's just like ridiculous how it's even all legal.
Yeah. Well, and that's, it's funny, it shouldn't be, right? That
Exactly.
that was the that was the big thing back in the 90s, everyone was fighting that, and Ticketmaster's like, yeah, we're not letting like secondary ticket sales and that kind of shit. And then they started letting secondary ticket sales. Like,
Sure.
I get it if like someone last minute can't make the show,
Hmm.
but the if someone goes and buys 300 or 400 fucking tickets, turn around and resell them, like, come
There's
on.
gotta be like a limit, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
That shit's ridiculous.
Hmm.
So with your band, Sadistic Creator, what
Yeah.
over the next year, what do you guys hope happens for the band?
What we're really trying to do is get more accessible, push ourselves onto mainstream services and streaming services and whatnot. Spotify, we're trying to work on all that. We've got a video filming, their music video, another music video for a song like coming out and stuff like that. So hopefully, bigger shows, more accessibility, like actually getting out there on streaming platforms, pushing stuff like that, and hitting the scene hard. The videos and things. Our bass player actually recently bought a house, CJ Wallace. So he's in the process of moving all the equipment. And like I said, he's the one kind of behind the computer tech scene. So it might take a minute to like get it all kind of set up and going again because we had it all set up in one place. It's got to take it all down and put it all back together and stuff. But yeah, we are definitely looking forward to putting all that out there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. So do you guys have physical media?
Not currently. We've got like a few videos uploaded to YouTube that you can check out. There's a video for Blood of Mutilation, a couple of other songs that I don't have videos, but just like titles and screens that you can like sit there and listen to. That's like I said, one of our main focuses right now is being accessible as a band and trying to make we're kind of perfectionists in the production and the music, and we just want to present a full package and like full album and stuff like that, and like be very confident we release it. So it's kind of been one of those things that's like drug on and on and on. But when we release it, we want it to be good, and we want to hit it hard, and we want it to be perfect. So
Well, I'm going to tell you just from experience, right? Don't
yeah,
wait till it's perfect.
yeah. I mean, you can always strive for perfection, accept excellence, right?
Yeah, that's
That's
it. When it sounds great, like, all right, good, let's put that out, then we can move on to the next thing, right? Because I think that's part of being a band is just like social media, you got to push the content, you know?
Yeah, you got yeah, that's true. And you always can evolve, you know.
Yep. Yeah. The more shit you can put out, you know, the more you're going to learn. It's going to help
Mhm.
you get, you know, uh, to whatever that next step is.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you guys have a timeline for wanting to have like CDs and shit to put out?
Not particularly at the moment. Not at least not off the top of my head. Not a set date.
Okay. Get
When
how much have you guys got recorded right now?
uh good amount actually. We have at least we have a EP definitely worth of older music has been written with like interchanged members when we were a little younger that we've kind of like grown up playing, and then we have stuff that we've written now and are moving like in a I mean somewhat different direction just because we're older and have new skills and different things
Yeah.
evolve and pace. So we've kind of got one group of things that we're trying to think about, releasing in its own package. And then we have a full album that we're trying to build that has maybe 10 songs by now, if that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it have a common theme for the album?
Mm. I wouldn't want to put too much of like a spoiler on it. Uh, I've been trying to work in some like Kentucky folklore and a little bit of like play with like just regular like death metal-y gore, a little bit of like misanthropic kind of stuff as well. The state of the world and state of things, my opinions on
Yeah.
everything going on that thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of bullshit going on there.
Yeah, for sure. Dive into that all day, right? It's a big.
Yeah. Yeah. And no, you know, like I don't know, it doesn't matter. Don't need to get into it.
Can't even get started.
No. No, not at all. Um, so you've got about 10 songs for the new album, you said. Are you planning on just a 10-song album or would you like
And that's probably a rough estimate of me sitting here just like trying to think about, there are things that are in work, there are things that we have like, not completed and stuff like that. So we wanted to, that's the thing, we wanted to be like a full length album kind of, so we wanted to feel filled in with the amount of songs when we do put out like an actual album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you got any idea for someone to do artwork?
Uh, we've kind of had an idea of we've got a little spot that we found out and land that we know the owner of, where there's a creek bed, and my idea at least is to have a couple volunteers, a bunch of bodies, and what we're going to do is kind of like have them all strewn across this empty like basin and creek bed and try and get a photo of that and like a pool of blood and stuff like that. Have like some effects blood and stuff like that, white t-shirts, and splatter everyone with it and have everybody kind of lay strewn out and stuff, take a picture that way.
Like a big mass murder grave?
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's been like dumped in the forest.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I want
Just
to
a
be
couple of ideas. We've also been trying to work with some local artists and stuff like that. But of course, it's one of those things. Art's expensive, good art, especially, if you want quality, high graphic designs. It's like, I mean, and I get it. I totally understand why they charge as much as they do. It's just like, whew, we don't have that, that kind of dough around right now. So,
yeah.
best if we can try and make it ourselves organically somehow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's it, right? And even I think that's the way a lot of bands did it, or or do it um starting off, right? When they're starting to release their first stuff, it's a lot of like, DIY stuff.
Yeah, and like so, we do have a couple local artists and other things that we are trying to work with, and pay and stuff like that. But it's all one of those things where it's money talks with that world. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the truth.
mm-hmm.
There's I think there's a lot of good people out there though that,
Definitely.
you make the
Yeah.
right connection, you can make something happen.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. There's some amazing people to work with for sure, especially in the Louisville scene.
Yeah.
They've got a great art community, you know, around Louisville.
Yeah. I mean, that was the big push for so long, keep Louisville weird, right? You know, we
I'm I'm here for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and we do. Like, and the good thing about like the community we have here is everyone is super, super supportive of each other,
Hmm.
So, um, what what bands? Oh, forget what bands. How was that Illusion of Fate show last week?
It was awesome, man. Frontal Assault and Illusions of Fate are they're both awesome performers, and they're all awesome guys too. It was a great show.
Yeah.
It, it was a really good time.
Yeah, I love
Uh,
the dudes in Illusion of Fate. Like they're all kind of buddies of mine. So uh, I ended up getting really fucking sick and couldn't make the show. I was so bummed.
yeah, no, it was a great time. You know, everybody there. I think everybody played had a great time too. So
Hell yeah. Yeah, I think I've not seen Frontal Assault, but
yeah,
uh
they're awesome.
yeah.
Really good. Those guys for I told them like three piece, like band. Sometimes like it's hard to get a lot of sound out of a three piece, but they crush it.
Yeah. Well, and that's a sign of a good band, dude, when they can,
Yeah, yeah,
you
tight.
know. Yeah. I mean, shit, Motorhead, one of the premier like three pieces and their sound was it was so big, dude, that it just like
Yeah,
engulfed you, which is great.
yeah, yeah. So much energy. And like I said, props to them for sure.
Yeah. So what shows do you guys have coming up?
We actually are playing a show today in Cincinnati at Legends with a bunch of different stuff. Crisis. I'd have to look at the bill to name all the bands. There's several bands playing. And then we have a show at Better Days Records on the 6th of July for free with Athena.
Okay. So like the
Yep.
Thrashers and Destroyers show?
Yep. Yep.
Right on.
That represents, yeah, so we'll be doing that. And that's going to be a fun hangout. Otherwise, we've been kind of trying to dodge at least in town stuff. We've been trying to branch out into other scenes. It's really hard to get your hands on stuff, especially when you're trying to be self promoted and don't have a like talent booker currently or not paying somebody. Uh, so we're working on new material and like trying to do stuff so that we don't sound repetitive when we keep playing shows here at least.
Sure.
So like after the show in July, we don't currently have much planned.
Okay. So a couple of shows and then you guys are gonna like really focus on like writing, recording.
Yep, yeah, yeah. Trying to hunker down and make sure that we have like more stuff to present live. We're working on some covers, which we haven't done before yet, which I think will be fun for the show and stuff like that. So
Yeah. I went to see a band, who was it? Nest.
mm,
And like they do something completely different. Their sound is like I feel like completely different from everyone else. So I go to see them and they put on a great show and they put three covers in their set.
mm.
And I was just like I was blown away because it was like, what did they do? They did Cheap Sunglasses.
Oh, nice.
Um, I don't remember what the second one was, and then they finished with a Slayer cover, and it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
it was like there was a really good fucking set, and to throw in those covers, they made those songs their own, which was super nice.
Yeah. And we don't want to overdo the show with covers or anything, but we've got a
Sure.
couple that are like it just kind of it's one of those things that like crowd pleasing and identifying when you kind of play it adds a little hype, adds a little just a little something else to it. Sometimes
Yeah. What
it's also
what cover?
learn other music sometimes and learn how to play it. Just as the band. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna learn to play it, why not play it live?
Yeah. No, that's exactly it, So what covers are you guys doing?
uh, don't want to spoil too many of them. We've got a Lamb of God one we're thinking of. We've all kind of got an artist that we've had in mind to like cover. We got a Cannibal Corpse cover. We're thinking about a Nile cover, and there's a couple others that we're trying to throw in the mix. We're trying to throw something fun in there that's not too corny or too like overdone. So
Yeah.
it's hard to. The thing is, we're going for like if we're gonna do something like that, it's like pick a song that like everybody's gonna know that like I said it's not overdone, that it's not gonna be too awful, that like so yada yada, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of a balance there.
Yeah. Well, and you definitely have to balance it, but
Hmm.
maybe finding a really corny cover would be hilarious, you know.
It depends on how you present it. it's
Yeah. Yeah,
always it's always how you go about that, man.
go out there and do like Charlie Brown or something.
Yeah, we've been the SpongeBob theme.
Mm, there you go.
Exactly.
I think
Uh,
uh, Mr. Bungle does a cover. I don't remember which one, but it's kind of a funny song and they do it so fucking good.
yeah.
Like love those dudes. What time's the show today?
Starts at 7:30.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah,
Right
so we're
on.
gonna be leaving around like 3:30, 4 o'clock. Get down there, load in and have a good time.
Right on. That'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys, sell a lot of shit. There's a couple of shows going on here tonight.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was trying to think off the top of my head, but yeah, I suppose
But
you have listed.
yeah, I've got a couple like Vile Aggression and Yotuma are playing at Mag Bar, and then
They were Illusions of Fate was talking about the guy in Yotuma and that they were gonna play at Magbar as well. He said he's more Hoss than them and
yeah,
something like.
yeah, he's definitely more Haas. Like I saw them what is it? Death in the Midwest up in Indianapolis at Black Circle.
hmm
They were all there. Like Illusion. I went for Illusion of Fate because they're,
Yeah,
buddies of mine. And Yotuma put on a really good set, and then they just played Wrong Side a few weeks ago, and now they're playing Magbar, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go see it.
yeah, for
I'm not
sure.
I'm not seeing Vile Aggression. And then there's uh there's a show at Spinelli's too. Goose Hydra is
I saw that they're doing shows and stuff again there, and Goose Hydra. Yeah, I was excited to see them up. There's a Metal Monday for them that I'm potentially wanting to go to.
yeah. Yeah, Tony's a good dude.
hmm
So I'm stoked. Like I think what's going to happen, I'm going to go and hit that show for the first band or two, and then head over to Mag to catch Yotuma and Vile Aggression if I can time it right.
Sounds solid.
Yeah, stay busy.
For sure.
All right, Scott. I appreciate you coming and hang out and spending
Yeah.
some time with me this morning. I gotta I gotta go make some money.
Hey, thank you.
Hell yeah, dude. Go have yourself a great day. Hope the show goes well.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. See ya.